Okay, we are live. Welcome, everybody. I am Chris Rushlow. I have Amy Starr Allen on the line, and welcome to Team Be the Change, Team Shine, Google Hangout. Thanks for joining in, guys. It was one heck of an event at Release Your Inner Badass this weekend, and man, what a show! And I don't think any of us could have imagined what happened there. Could have imagined what did happen there, that could have ever happened. How special that was, how cool that was. And so, Amy, I just want to turn it right over to you. Any opening thoughts there? You shot a video here a little earlier today and sent it out. It was kind of a cool, real cool one. I really liked it. But just tell me your experience, your thoughts here on the weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really, for me, I'm sorry, I'm tangled here. Here we go. Okay. It was amazing for me to meet a lot of the people on my team that I hadn't met in person before for the first time, including Jordan, who, by the way, isn't feeling well, so that's why he's not here. He might try to jump on, but if anyone's wondering where he is. But it was just really fun to meet people in person. I wasn't on the top of my game this weekend by any means because I'm still getting over being sick, but it was an amazing event, and yeah, and it's amazing also to just kind of see what's happening for people already from having attended that event. And all I can really say is, like, if you're here and you're serious about making money here, you've got to get to the events. No excuse not to get there. I met people this weekend. I met a guy who had no money, who couldn't stay at the hotel. He stayed at a Motel 6 down the street, and he was a young guy. And when I met him the first night, we were hanging out in the bar in the hotel, and I said, "Are you staying here?" And he's like, "Oh no, I can't afford to stay here, but I know the importance of attending events." And I just thought that was so awesome, because I know a lot of people who are, I saw people marketing that weren't at the event over the weekend. I was seeing some of the emails that were going out and stuff, and thinking to myself, I didn't send out a single email the whole time I was gone. I was just too focused on what was going on there. And I made $4,900 while I was gone, which was pretty awesome. But I was thinking to myself when I was seeing all these emails coming out that, if these people were at the event, maybe they'll get a result by not being at the event and sending out a few emails. But all I can say is, if you're committed to your business, you got to figure out a way to get to the next event. It's coming up in April 18th through the 21st. So I know they opened up ticket sales to the people that were at the event at a discount, and I don't know when they're opening them up to everybody else. But the minute they do, you guys, you gotta get your tickets and get yourself squared away for that.
Absolutely. That's just, goes almost without saying now. That's just.
Yeah.
It's just so awesome just to even experience what we were experiencing there.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. Let me hop back on here. Okay, looks like we got Tashina on.
Hey guys.
Hey Tashina, how are you?
Good. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Looks like we even got Jordan popping on here. But Tashina, just give us your quick thoughts here. Just a quick rundown, your initial impression of what this weekend was like for us down there in Austin.
Well, I thought it was absolutely incredible. Just the energy in the entire room was off the wall, and just to be in a room of 4,000 people who have so much heart and are so excited to really grow as individuals and in their business, it's just exciting as can be. And it was amazing. All the team leaders that got up on stage and spoke and shared their hearts and their stories, it was really motivating and inspiring, and I know it touched a lot of people, and I'm just excited to be a part of something that has so much integrity and such a huge vision. So
I agree. And I think what was really special was our team meeting we had Saturday night.
Very
I
true.
think that you know, although the event was amazing and we have you know, amazing people in that event, and you know, many people that went on stage that were just so inspiring. You know, we had something really special on Saturday night, and those of you who were there know, you know, it just wasn't a normal group of
Mm-mm.
marketers sitting in that room. And I think we all can agree on that. You know, we went around the room and we asked everyone to share their story, and we're going to be putting those videos up on the team sites too.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just, you know, it was very obvious that everybody there was really open, authentic. They were coming from their heart, and that everybody was about what was going on and really aligned with the vision. And it was no accident that they were all there. You know, it was no accident that we all wanted to be there and intended to be there, and we all brought our certain, you know, skills, unique skill sets and talents there. And it seemed like, at least to me, it really seemed like a cohesive group. That was a really special time for all of us to sit around and just chat and go over things and tell stories and see why we all were here. It's something that you really can't put into words how cool that was that night. Amy?
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of the highlights for me. And you know, we had eight-figure earner Mark Hoverson stop by our, you know, in our little quaint little gathering there and give his 2 cents, which was awesome. And but yeah, I mean that meeting was the most. It was just amazing to hear everybody's story about why they're here, and most of those stories I hadn't heard before. I mean, I knew, you know, some of the people on my, you know, my that I personally sponsored. I talked to everybody that I personally sponsor, so I know some people's reasons and how they got here, but I was just blown away by some of the stuff I saw, including the support from the spouses that were there and
Yeah.
how on board they are with what their spouses are doing. It was just really, really amazing. I'm in love with my team for sure.
Me too.
Yeah,
George.
and I definitely want to. I have a couple of them that want to jump out tonight too, because some really amazing things have happened since the event that I know.
Yeah,
Like to have
absolutely.
them share.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jordan, go ahead, bud. We see you're there. How you feeling?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, hold on a second. Can't really talk with a cough drop in my mouth. But you know, I'm so excited here. I literally, this is the first time I've sat up all day, so I'm so excited I couldn't actually miss the hangout. And I heard a little bit about what Amy was talking about. I don't know what you all said about the breakout that we had in the room. You know, it was really something special with the team members that we had there, and it was really it's really cool to not only be able to put a name with a face, but really find out deep down what everyone's all about and why they got involved, what they're doing, why they're doing it, because that's what really brings everyone together, and that's what really makes the magic happen. So, you know, just being there in person and getting to meet the team was absolutely amazing, and seeing where everyone has had it is awesome. So, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It really was. It was something special, you know, and the cool thing is that not only was that only, you know, 15 to 20, it was what, 20 people sitting in that room that night altogether.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to be 5 to 10 times that.
Yes,
You
will
know,
be.
5 to 7 times that at the next event, if not more. You know, and each person in there might even have their own breakout session, you know, with that many people. So it's going to grow really fast, and that was something special. That really was. It really allowed people to open up in a way that they normally can't, and it created a dynamic where they were being supported by others to be able to be who they are and show who they are and show why they're doing this thing. Whereas normally you might be sitting behind a camera, or you feel like you're kind of out there doing it on your own and shooting your own videos and marketing by yourself, and to be able to connect and see each other and be able to understand where each other's coming from, I'm sure it just solidified, you know, the really getting over the line with everybody there, without a doubt. It was really cool. Just even everybody offering their perception of it, you know, and their experience of it was really, really, really cool. And you know, and the awesome part was that not only did we had Dave pop me on stage and actually tell my story, which I just wasn't ready for. You know,
That was cool.
that was one of those things that I kind of thought, well, maybe at the next event in 3 months or the next one in July, maybe 2 events from now, I'll be on stage and I'll get a chance to tell, you know, some of my story that really, you know, some of my pivotal moments in the last year of a lot of my path and my personal growth. And you know, sure enough, Dave says, Chris, come on up here. And I'm going, oh boy, you know, and so I get up there and you know, he's asking me a few questions, and then he says, just tell your story. And I'm looking at him like, you know, I'm holding the microphone and I'm like, you mean now? Yeah, you know, and he's like, yeah, okay, oh, good, you know, and the cool thing is, you know, it was awesome, and I kind of sat down afterwards and was just like, for the next 10 minutes, I'm kind of like looking like this, taking in, I'm looking at Amy next to me and Jordan, and I'm like, did that just happen? It was really surreal, and to really stand up in front of 4,000 people in that place, and all eyes are on you. It was definitely a different experience. Never had been in front of that many people before. So, but even what was even cooler was, you know, the fact that he brought up Jordan and Amy at the same time. So for those of you that weren't there, that was really, really cool, because he brought up Jordan and Amy, and they're standing there on stage, and I got it on video, and so we're going to be able to put that in the site so you guys can see this. But it was the coolest thing where he kind of asked you two to recount, you know, what had happened over the last year, and how, you know, Jordan sponsored Amy, and then Jordan went away for a while, and then, you know, Amy was just kind of forced to figure this thing out and do this thing on her own. And then, you know, his point was about, you know, hey, you know, it's sometimes almost crippling when you have someone who's holding your hand throughout this whole thing. You know, we have a system that's set up to really get people involved without a lot of personal one-on-one contact and experience, but we can do things more through things like Google Hangouts and through marketing and you know, videos and tutorials and all that kind of stuff. So somebody there's making a lot of noise. I don't know who.
It's probably my cough drop. I'm sorry.
It seems like somebody's either typing or moving or something there. It's in my ears. So anyways, but it was a really cool story, and you know, we got to share that experience, and how Jordan was back, and how Amy had made this thing happen, and you know, it was just the coolest experience that, you know, we were all on stage out there. You know, he brought on, you know, not a lot of people, but he brought on people for examples. And you know, the three of us, and then when we could, we got a few other team members up with us, but we were always up in the front row representing. You know, we were up in the front row making sure that we were right there and representing everybody there. And so yeah, Jordan, Amy, go ahead if you want to share your experience there from going on stage.
Well, before we do that, I just want to say that next time around, we're going to have a lot more than we're going to have a lot more people in the red lanyard section. That's all I know. And we're going to have more team members in the white couch section as well. And if you don't know what that means, you'll know when you get to the next event what that means, because we're going to take that thing over, for one. Yeah, you know, that really is being up on stage and talking about what I talked about, and bringing Amy up to share what she shared. I get contacted on a regular basis by people who say, "Well, what kind of one-on-one support am I going to get when I join your team in Empower Network?" I mean, and thinking, even if they join me at the top level and spend $5,000, well, the bottom line is you're not going to get much one-on-one support with me, period, until you're making money. You know, not to say I won't call you personally and all that good stuff, but that's really the beauty of what Empower Network is all about. It's about creating free time in your life. It's about not doing the things you don't want to do. It's about doing the things that you do enjoy in your life, and putting a business in place that kind of runs itself, and all the support is there and all the training is there for people to access at any time, that they can learn how to do everything that you've done on your own. Since you've learned how to do it on your own, they can do it on their own as well. So, I mean, Amy, you're just a testament to that in and of itself. You know, you got in, we went away, and you went on anyway, and just had like the best month of your life. So I just think it's so cool. I just think it's so cool. And you know, when people ask me about that, I say, well, let me tell you about my good friend Amy. And then, you know, I don't know. That's yep. And it was pretty intense seeing 4,000 some odd people in the audience. I couldn't even see all the way to the back from the stage. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, you had to put on sunglasses up there.
I did have to put on my sunglasses. It was so bright, man.
Bright lights up there. Yeah, so Amy, tell us your experience there going up on stage, what that was like.
I wasn't really prepared for that.
Nobody is.
I didn't even look out. I just answered the questions with one word each time and like got off as fast as I could.
Well, me and you, Amy, we were just getting ready to leave and go get food because it was like we hadn't eaten in like 12 hours. And we were like, do you want to go get some food? And we were just about to get up and Dave's like, hey, Jordan, come up here. And I'm like, oh. Like I was like on the verge of passing out when he called us up there. So, and I know Amy was probably a little bit ahead of me on the verge of passing out anyway.
Oh my God. And it was so funny because I was going through my video footage and so you got called up there. So I whip out my camera on my phone and I start videotaping you. And then he calls me up and I put the camera in my purse and it's still recording. And it's just like you could like hear everything, but like I just chucked it in there. I was like, I was just not. I was like filming a video. I wouldn't want to go up on stage.
Nice.
But anyway.
Tashina, what was your impression there of seeing us on stage? Any thoughts that come up? How crazy that was?
I mean, it's just amazing the power that each of us hold and the ability that we have to affect other people in our lives. And, you know, for people that are sitting there in the audience, we get this, oh my gosh, they're incredible, look at what they're doing. And you have some people have that wonder of, could I ever be up there? And the answer is absolutely yes. So if anything, it's just the ability to see, you know, a fellow team member and a fellow friend standing up there, standing in their own, you know, power and knowing that it's inspiring others that they can also be up there on stage next time at the next event. And that there's nothing that sets us apart other than our choices and that every person that was pulled up on stage made the choice. And, you know, it's helping others everywhere in the audience and then now everywhere because we do these team hangouts and the videos that are being posted. So it was just great to see you guys up there and I loved seeing you guys laugh and, you know, be able to share who you were.
Right on. Yeah, it was a really cool feeling. You know, there's stuff that has gone on at that thing that I didn't ever expect, and I don't know if it'll ever happen again. You know, I never know what the future holds there. But you know, this was a vision, honestly, that we saw a long time ago. You know, Dave and I talked about, and Dave and I talked about. I didn't realize it would happen so fast. You know, you guys got to understand this boat is rocking, and it's moving fast. This thing. We didn't think it would look like this in a year, and it has far surpassed any of our wildest expectations, and it's only going to ramp up. So I can't even try to, you know, I think that trying to project what's going to happen the next time is almost crazy. You know, I know I did earlier, but you know that's my best projection. But who really knows what's going to happen there? This is just something that is amazing. And you got to get there. You just got to get there. This thing was, you know, they had an auction to help benefit Habitat for Humanity, and that was really cool. They had an auctioneer, a professional auctioneer there, and so we raised, I believe it was $64,000 altogether for Habitat for Humanity, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, and they had a video. They took a video out to where Dave and Dave were at. They went to the site where they were building the house for somebody. They had the person that they built the house for come out on stage and say thank you and talk about their life and talk about how thankful they were for this opportunity. It was heartwarming. You know, it's those things you got to see in person, you know, to really understand, and you can feel the energy in the room, and you knew just looking around at everybody that, you know, this is the kind of heart that this thing has, that it's always had, and now it's really, we can show it in ways that, you know, we weren't able to show before, where we can benefit things like this, you know. And so much to some people's chagrin, on another note, you know, we heard the rumors about the assless chaps, and We didn't get those. I, for one, am
We
thankful
saw
for
Dave
that.
in cowboy boots, which was a trip.
Yes,
Yes.
that was a trip. Yes, I figured they were going to do that and then turn around and show chaps there or something, and lift up the coat or something like that, something crazy. But I guess they kept it to a minimum. They didn't want to scare people off too early,
Yeah.
I'd like to talk a little bit about like the theme of the event and which was really about vision, I think, vision and focus mostly, and that's really what they hounded the whole time. And one of the biggest things that I got from being there was, thinking about the vision of the team, not just the vision for me and my family, but like bigger than that, and even bigger than the team, for the rest of the world as well. But one of the things that I've been really looking at and journaling about today and while I was there was just really getting clear about, the team vision and what's possible in the next 90 days. And my goal, one of my goals that I have is that I want to create at least 10 six-figure earners by the end of this year on my team. And like what Jordan was saying, like this isn't about talking on the phone every day or holding anybody's hands or anything like that. But if you guys were on the call last night, the Monday night call, there was an exercise that Chris Record gave an assignment at the end of the call. And one of my team members did the assignment today. And I just wanted to share that because I can't pull her out on the line because she doesn't have a webcam. But Pam, who was at the event, sent me an email today, which was what he was what he was recommending is that you contact your sponsor and let them know what your commitment is. She sent me an email entitled My Commitment, and it just says, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your leadership and let you know that I'm committed to being in Chicago wearing a red lanyard. I've been a believer from the beginning, but after this weekend I have a renewed sense of hope about what I can accomplish, and that brings me great joy. In order to accomplish my goals, I will consistently, daily, work on income-producing activities through blogging, videos, syndication, participating in the co-ops, and inviting people to phone calls and hangouts. I also readily accept whatever training, instructions, and coaching you provide. Thank you, Pam. So I just thought that was so powerful because, I've got over 100 people on my team, and I got one email today like that. And I just, so what I said to Pam was, I'm committed to you having everything that you just said, and if you need anything, just ask. And the reason for that is because Pam was at the event. She's just an action taker. And so like Jordan was just talking about, when somebody, proves themselves and isn't just, wanting to just take and take and take and ask and ask and ask for stuff, and then they're not like doing anything. I mean, like with Jordan and I never asked him for anything. He contacted me once I started producing results. And so, and Pam has started already producing results. But that just lit me up today. I mean, I had tears streaming down my face when I read her email. And that's what she got from being at that event. Like her belief, and I know pretty much 4,000 people can probably say the same thing, that their belief went through the roof this week. I mean, you can't be at an event like that and not have that happen, So, so Pam, we're going to make that happen for you, and I'm committed to you being one of those six-figure earners if that's what you're up to, and I can't wait to have you up in the front row with me at the next event. So.
Well, that's what it's about, guys. We got to start now. It starts now. You've got 90 days. And you've got 90 days to solidify your team and get them to the next event. Here's the biggest thing that grows teams, everybody. The biggest things that grows teams is when you've taken somebody through the full process and they get over the line mentally and emotionally and spiritually. And that only normally happens at an event. And so you've got 3 months to build a team, get your people engaged, plug them into the team, but then where your real growth happens in your team is when you have them at the event, because that's when you get them over the line, and that's when you see 90 days from there when things absolutely explode. Now, that's not to say that things can't explode coming right out of here if you didn't have a team, because you absolutely can, because if it's going to be, it's up to me, that saying is true, and you went out of there, and if you went to that event, you know what it's like right now. You're on fire. You're ready to go. You came out of that thing knowing with a renewed sense of energy that this thing is for real. If I had any doubts about it before, I don't anymore. It's time to roll. We know what it's about. We've seen the heart worn on the sleeves of Dave and Dave. We've seen what they're about. We've seen the company, and we know where we're going. So, yeah. Any thoughts, Jordan?
My mind just went blank, man.
Still trying to get better.
It's going through some ups and downs. Yeah, I was thinking I'm on fire, but I'm also like cold at the same time.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, Pete. No, my mind's blank. I can't think.
Go ahead, Amy.
Go ahead, Amy.
Can you get Jan and Kelly out?
I sent them invites.
Oh, okay.
I sent them invites a long time ago.
If you go to that link that I posted in the Facebook group earlier, and just
if they go to plus.google.com, and when they're logged into their Gmail, on the left-hand side they'll see a little tab down near the bottom, and they have to click on the more. But if they go to Hangouts on the top, that's going to be the Hangouts they got invited to, that they click Hangout.
Yeah, and they should just get a Gmail email. They should get an email if they just check their Gmail. It'll say so-and-so invited you to a Hangout.
I don't get an email. Oh, I don't check Gmail, though.
Yeah, I don't get an email. I don't get an email with the invites either.
Yep.
Really?
No.
So, Shan, I see that you're here. Did you hear what Jordan just said? Because I'd like to pull you out to share about the fact. I want you to come out here for a minute.
Let her give her a chance to log in there and then see the Hangout invite and then click on it, and then it'll have you check the little box saying you agree to the terms and conditions, and then click Start Hangout, and it'll start up. But yeah, sometimes it takes a second in order to get there. But yeah, I did send those two. Jordan, if there's anyone that you want to send out, you want to bring on at all, just Skype, put me, send over the emails in the chat.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think, man. I can't think right now.
Okay.
All that clearly.
All right. Well, while we're waiting there, Tashina, any other thoughts there about what this event was like?
One of the other things that I just really found amazing was more towards the end, where Dave was up on stage talking about, who's making a commitment right now to get all in. And to see the people, the excitement build throughout the entire weekend. And then that moment came when Dave said, we're having the all-in meeting, in the next 30 minutes. And for those of you who aren't all in, you have a choice basically to get all in now or not. And after that broke, there were just lines and lines of people at the customer support desk getting all in right there. And you could tell in that moment they made that immediate choice to where they said, this is worth it, I'm worth it, and the people in my life are worth it. And so I'm making that choice right now to get all in, to commit to myself so that I can better myself and the people around me. And just to see the power of all of those people come up, one, get on stage and publicly announce basically that they're doing it, and then to see people actually follow through with what they said they were going to do, go out and then get all in. That was really incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we were out there looking at that, and we saw it was just all the way back to the wall.
Hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people. Yeah, it was
Hundreds.
insane. And I was on the phone at the airport heading back, and Dave calls me, and so I'm sitting there in the terminal on the phone, and Dave asked me, he says, so what'd you think about that when we had everyone make that commitment, huh? And I was like, that was the most craziest thing I've seen in a long time. I mean, people were just rushing. And I said, I wish you could have seen it, because he didn't see it, right? And I told him, I wish you could have seen people stacked all the way from the table, all the way across the hall. You could barely walk through it all. Like, it was a very dense mass of people. Trying to get through there at that time was almost impossible, just to get through that little area, because it was just like such a bottleneck, and then like a filter that just a fish net is what it was like, for people to finally get over the line and just say, hey, that's it. And I was talking with Dave about it, and he says, well, I wish I could have seen it. He said, but I'll tell you what, he says, I still can't get the images of 4,000 people sitting in the room and the way they were reacting and the people jumping up and down. He said, and the craziest thing that really just kept on getting to him that he hadn't stopped thinking about was when he was leading everybody through that last exercise, and he was asking everybody to go deeper in their core values as to why they're doing this thing. If this is going to give you this, then what does this mean for you? And if it means for you this, then what's it going to give you? And then what does this really mean? And what is that going to give you? Well, if it gives you this, then what does that give you? And
Right.
it was the progression that we were talking about, and Dave shared this with me too. I said it to him, and he agreed completely that it was, the first time around, people were saying a lot of things that were on the surface. They weren't getting really to the core of what was going on. People were saying, financial freedom, and no debt, no job, and they're talking about things that are the basic effects of becoming prosperous. And as we went along in the exercise, people were starting to talk about significance and things beyond themselves, because first it seemed to be more like a personal thing, like, let me have this personal breakthrough, let me have freedom, let me have this. It was I, me, experiencing something. And what the experience was towards the last time around was significance, all one planet, one being, one thing, one intention, us all sharing the world, being able to create peace on earth, and joy and happiness, everyone connected. And it seemed to be this huge significant thing beyond them. It was this progression. And for him to stand there on stage and people screaming this out over and over and over again, coming at him from the original first, what does this give you, all the way to like the 7th time where you say, well, then really, what does that give you? It was insane. And Dave said he was still just tripping out. He said he was still hearing the voices in his head, and it was like he was in a little shock. He really actually was in shock when I was talking to him. So, that was a really cool feeling to be able to see here. And okay, all right, we got a few more people out here. Amy, go ahead and take it over.
Yeah, Shan, you're in here twice somehow. Do you guys see her twice?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we can't hear you at all.
Her audio's off.
Do you have her muted, Chris?
No, I do not.
I said with
There
this
we
amount of people that come in, it's automatically muted.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah. So you just got to click the little red microphone up in the top right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Shan, give us a test. Oops.
Okay, looks like Shan just left.
She did?
Well, it tells me that she left.
Yeah, I can
It's only
hear
her
you.
picture. There we go.
There's
There's
someone.
Kelly.
I hear Kelly. Shan, are you there? All right. I don't know what's going on with Shan.
I'm gonna mute
Yeah,
myself out and see
can
if
you hear
that
me?
helps.
Okay.
I can hear you, Kelly. So while we're waiting for Shan to jump back in here, I'd love to hear from you. Kelly was at the event with her
Okay.
husband. Am I getting a delay or something?
No, you're good.
Okay. Kelly was at the event with her husband, and
Yes.
I don't know, something weird's going on.
No, they're okay. I can hear them. They were just responding to you.
Yes, I was there. I hear you.
Okay. So anyway, Kelly was at the event with her husband, and they're
You keep
Extremely-
clipping in and out.
I don't know what to do about that.
Okay, well, can you hear me, Kelly?
Yeah, she's got a delay going on.
Yeah, she's got
She's chiming in like after the fact, and now she's frozen. So I don't know what's going
Yes,
on.
Chris, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right.
way
long
delayed.
delay.
Yeah, there's a
Way
big delay going on. Is your internet slow
Yeah,
or something, Kelly?
That's Texas for you.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I'll just say Kelly was there with her husband. They had a lot of her husband is extremely supportive. He's actually completely doing this with her.
That's
And they went home. They bought 5 shares of the co-op today, and I got an email telling me how committed they are to making this happen. So Kelly, I'd like you to just let us share with us. Shan, can you mute yourself in the upper right? There's a little microphone.
I just muted her.
What's all that background noise? Can you mute yourself in the upper right? There's a little microphone.
I just muted her.
Just let us. What's all that background noise?
I don't know.
Can you mute?
You're gonna need headsets if you're gonna be on here. We need headsets.
What's all that background noise?
You're gonna need headsets.
Okay.
Okay, so I've muted both of them.
Okay, perfect. So let me just finish introducing Kelly, and then she can talk, and then she can get off, because she's got this like serious delay going on that's just weird. But anyway, they got home today, or they got home, and they immediately, they're like, we're completely committed to this. They bought 5 shares of the co-op. They're ready to rock and roll. So Kelly, I would like you to just tell us what happened for you this weekend, like what the shift that happened for you, and where that came from. So Chris, can you unmute her now?
Yep.
It says she's muted on my screen.
Yeah, I just unmuted her.
Well, I can't hear her. She's talking.
There is a delay. Okay. Kelly, check to make sure you're muted. You're not muted in your top right-hand corner.
okay, Chris. I got it.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Okay. It is a delay. I hear it. The weekend was great. Yeah. Darren was all in, and this weekend was just great, and got me started. And I've shot a whole bunch of videos today, and we've worked on a whole bunch of videos. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So what was it that happened over the weekend that had you just shifted things for you?
Can you hear me, guys? Okay, sorry. It has a real bad delay for me.
Okay. All right. Why don't we just go ahead and jump off, Kelly? Because I don't think we should waste too much time.
The shift.
Yeah.
They got the inspirational talks. Okay. No.
Yeah, I think her internet is too slow for this.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to. Kelly, we're going to have to get a better internet connection before we get you back on, because we're having too much of a delay over on our end, and it's breaking up. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Chan here in a sec. Let's see. Okay.
Okay. All right, Shan. Shan, give me test. Nope, can't hear her.
Test.
Right, there you are. Okay. So this is what I want to say about Shan. Shan was one of those people that got moved over the edge this weekend. She went all in. So this is what I want to say about Shan. Who's
lots of delay.
Yeah, what is going on?
Not gonna work, guys.
She went all in. So
do you have headset on, Shan?
No, I don't have one, Chris.
Do you have the video playing in the background, Shan?
No.
Guys went all in.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Exit off the other page where you were watching the Hangout and just be on the page with us.
That's better. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, awesome.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Shan wasn't all in until this weekend, and she got pushed over the edge. She got pushed over the edge before that whole exercise with David Wood, because she sent me a text after our group meeting on Saturday night when we were all together. She left there, and like 10 minutes later I got a text from her saying, I'm buying the master's course tonight. I'm getting all in. I'm going to that training tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so just so awesome, unbelievable. So I just would love to hear from you, Shan. What did that for you? All right.
You know, I think what it was for me was the group meeting on Saturday night, and just a sense of community, and a sense that you can you're comfortable with everybody that's there. Nobody judges you, and I found that with Dave and Dave. You know what? Him almost breaking down into tears about success stories and how well people have done. It just took me over the top, and I trust them. I believe in them, and I know it's the right thing to do. So, and the other thing, they said that they have your back, so they'll be there to help wherever they can. So it was awesome, absolutely awesome. Can't say anything more, but I am all in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
awesome. Welcome to the All In Club.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
just great meeting all you guys as well. It just was the best, and I'm in Chicago without a doubt. Everybody else should be there as well.
Absolutely. And again, like, David Wood says this as well. If you want to be taken seriously by anybody, but including like your sponsor or anybody, you gotta show up at the events. The people,
it was fun.
the people that I met at the event this weekend, like, to me, they're my priority on my team.
Yeah.
And the people that are all in and at the events, they're like the commitment. It's just really obvious here what level people's commitment is at.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just find that you go every 90 days and you just renew. You just get back in there, and you know what? Now it's now to take it up to the next level. So it's just continuous. So you've got to keep going to the events, because that's just going to make your life better, make your income better. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The events are dirt cheap too. I mean,
I know. Nothing to it. And I came from Canada, for crying out loud. So it was awesome.
Jordan, Chris, do you guys want to ask Shan anything or chime in about anything?
Go ahead, Jordan.
I've got. I don't really have anything to ask, but I just want to say you're a badass, Shan.
Oh.
I got a text from Amy when you said you were going all in, and that's it's so exciting to watch. Like, and then here's what I'm thinking about, because like when Dave was up on stage and talking about, what is the reason you're doing this, and then everyone says to get wealthy, to make money, and Chris talked about that before, and that was at the moment where I closed my eyes and I was envisioning myself cruising down the California coast in my motorhome with the breeze blowing in. But what I envisioned shortly after that was 15 or 20 of my team members in the back of the motorhome with me having a good time, because they too had freedom in their life.
Yeah.
And that to me is what it's about. Is I can't wait to get a text from Amy saying, hey, one of Shan's team members just went all in.
Yeah.
Because it just keeps happening. It just keeps happening, and it's not about me. It's not about Amy. It is about us, but it's not just about us. It's about everyone creating this freedom in their life that they can do what they want when they want, and not be stuck in any situation they don't want to be in. So I'm excited. You're well on your way, and it was great meeting you, hanging out with you at the team events that we had, and throughout the whole event anyway.
Yeah. Ditto here. Just good to see. I saw you guys on screen, but to see you live is just 100% better, 150% better. So.
Well, the hugs are better, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good.
But here's the thing too about the commitment you just made. It's so huge, and I know I said this to you when you told me I texted you back and I said that's huge. It's huge. The commitment that you just made, what you just showed the universe about your level of commitment is when what is it? What's that saying? Prodigy moves too. When you step over the line like that, everything like comes together in your favor when you make that kind of a commitment. And David Wood talked about it all weekend, about how like weird stuff just happens, like magical stuff just starts to happen when you have a really clear vision a really strong commitment and really strong focus. And so
Absolutely.
you just did that this
Yeah.
weekend. So, you know, yay, you got to meet us and all that, but that's huge. It's huge what you just did for
Myself.
yourself.
And your thought process with that as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something that that phrase, that statement you were saying earlier, Amy. I actually think about it a lot, and I've written that a couple times throughout my life on different blogs and everything too. I've looked at it, and it's been in a few books, and I highlighted it. I loved it because it really does signify the whole part of being all in, and all in is really just another way of saying it in a short way. But I think if I can remember exactly, it was when one is fully and totally and committed and willing, the gods join in and providence moves in your direction.
There it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's true because I've seen it happen over and over again in my life, and different times in my life when I've made a serious commitment, whether it's a really big commitment or a smaller commitment, like when I decided I was going to write a book, and the minute I started dealing with publishers, everything else just started happening. It was like I made that commitment. I had been talking about it for years, but the minute I picked up the phone, all this magic started happening, and then in bigger situations too. But so it's not just the fact that you now own the best marketing training on the planet, all of it, but and the fact that you now qualify to earn $3,000 commissions, which makes it a lot easier to make money here.
Yeah.
Sure does make those co-ops work by the numbers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
but then the other piece of it is just what we just said, the fact that you just you shifted your commitment level. So now the magic is about to start. So
Yep. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Anyway, thanks guys. I'll get off here because you don't need me on here. So
thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, Shan.
Okay, see you
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
See ya.
Good. Sounds like I'm gonna need one. Well, I have a.
And you hit the top right button. It's a little phone icon in the far top right side, Shan. It says exit if you hover over it. Some people don't know how to leave Hangouts. I know I didn't know how to leave. I don't know how to shut up, so it's probably not a good thing.
Funny.
Okay, let's see. I'm thinking. Okay, no, we'll get her. Okay, all right. So I sent a few other invites to a few people. We had a few other people there: Mark Gabriel, Dan Walsh, Ray Allen, some people on my personally sponsored team, and they're all all of them. Except for Dan. Dan was ready to go, but Ray I had to call and actually say, hey, dude, we need to we need to talk about this, and you need to get to this event, and no excuses. And I was actually really, really, really tough on him about it. And but sometimes it works out. I personally think I was almost a little too overbearing about it, but it's because I knew what it would do to him if he got there. And so with that, Ray, are you there? Can you hear us? Okay, Ray, we can't hear you, so you're probably muted. Up in the top right-hand side, there's a microphone. It's probably red. Go ahead and click on it in the top right of your Google Hangout screen. And if you click on it, it's because right now we see your lips moving, but we don't hear you. Let me see here. Okay, until he gets that worked out here.
That sounds like you got it worked out. His screen is showing up.
Yeah. I think it's your headset, man. I think something's going on with that because you're showing up briefly, but we can't really hear you. Okay, well, until we get that worked out here, I'm gonna continue talking for a minute here about what happened there. But I sent him this. I guess I would almost have to call it just a nasty email. I was like, dude, really, this is enough. I'm just not gonna work with you. I've had enough. Like, you need to get there. You've been kind of towing the line either way, kind of on the fence. Oh, I think I'll do this. I'll think I'll do that. And oh yeah, I'm in power. But I was like, oh, if you're all in power, then you need to get to the event. Seriously. And so, but he was thanking me once he got there fully, and he actually has a really cool story, what he shared there in the room with all of us. So I'm hoping he can get this worked out here. Ray, just keep talking if you can, see if you can get that figured out. I think this comes down to the same thing we have trouble with when me and you talk on Skype, is that you might have a connection issue with that headset you have, because sometimes you just have to take that thing out in order for us to talk. I think it might actually be a loose connection with your headphone jack there or something, because you do show up just a little bit at moments, which indicates there's sound coming from your side. So I think it might be a loose connection or something. See if we can get you.
And definitely make sure you're not on the page that people watch it on, because I think that's what causes the delay. That page definitely has a delay going on.
Yeah, definitely need to mute or just mute out that page or close out that Empower Hangouts page for the time being when you're actually on the Hangout. And let's see if we can get you. I'm going to mute you and unmute you and see if this helps now. Ray, can you hear? Can we hear you? Can you hear us?
Oh, I'm just using my. Is that good?
Yeah. There you are.
Nice. I'm just using my webcam. I don't even need the. I'm just listening to it, so I'm using my webcam microphone. So what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Oh
Good
man.
to have you.
Oh man. So yeah, what? Chris is definitely right about that nice email that he sent me. It was amazing.
You didn't deserve that, man.
Yeah, man. When I read that email, man, I was like, I didn't know what to do, man. I didn't know if I should reply, if I should send you a message. It was.
You can be honest. You were probably like that total friggin' jerk. What an asshole!
Kick your ass a little bit, man.
I bet.
Yeah, but it was all in good fun, man, and that definitely pushed me over the edge, man. Sometimes people need a boost in their business and their life, and that's what I needed, man. So that, getting to the event for me was a complete game changer, man. I got the things I did just yesterday alone. I actually already today I have 88 leads in my Aweber account. So if that's not something on fire, I don't know what is, man. I mean, that's pretty good, So, but the event for me just really touched home. Like we all said that Saturday night when we all just hung out was just amazing, guys. I mean, if you guys were there, you guys know. If you guys weren't there, it was so life-changing just to see the people in that room, that all their stories. Everyone was so connected. And we were hugging each other when we left, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Everyone was we were all that's before we got into that room, we kind of barely knew each other. Then we were leaving. It was magical is what it was. That's all I can say, man. It was totally magical. The entire event was completely magical for me. I just had such an amazing time, and it was just connecting with people. So something that really was really cool for me is you see these people on Facebook or you see these people online, and you're like, oh, they're making all this money, and then you see them in person, and you're like, wow, that's the furry guy, or that's that's so and so, and it's that's a real person, and they're doing things, and they're real. So the belief level just went up. It just kicked it up a notch, guys. I mean, it's through the freaking roof right now. So I guess I'm going to talk about one more thing, is just focus. I've been in the Power Network since the beginning, and my focus has been so jaded. I've been in different companies. I've been, doing different blogs and stuff like that. And Chris, we've talked about this before, but there's such a thing about laser beam focus, and when you focus on Empower Network, that's all you need to focus on, guys. You don't need to focus on anything else. We saw this guy Vic, and I actually spoke with him too. He made what, $700,000 in 20 days. Tell me what industry, whether it's real estate or anything legal, where you can make that type of money. I don't know of one. And I spoke with him personally, and it's crazy, man. So it's what else do you guys really need to focus on? Do you need to be in 10 different companies at once? Do you need to be blasting your links out there to 20 different people, 10 different companies? It's like you need to focus on one thing, guys, and that's it. So that's what I brought out from the event. So hopefully that helps, guys.
Definitely give you a belief when you sit and listen to Dave talk about the vision and how it works and what he sees there, Just a totally different mindset, and what I found a lot of the time is that people say, well, show me the tactics, show me the methods so that I can go do this like you. And what we then realize is that two different people can be doing the same marketing, the same methods, and getting a completely different set of results. One getting a lot of results, one getting almost nothing. And Dave helps people understand why that is. At this training, at this event, he helped people understand what it meant to be mentally over the line in your marketing, because that conviction comes through, and I think everybody could see the conviction in his eyes and in David Sharp's eyes when they were on stage talking about what this thing is worth, what this thing is about, and where we're going and what we're doing. And so it's just a major shift. I've never seen anybody come out of an event that wasn't seeing more results, period. It was just changed out of one of these events, period. So I'm sure there's somebody, but I don't know what's going on with him. But it is pretty amazing. And so Ray, I just want to commend you, brother, seriously, because you could have said, nah, you could have said, you know what, Chris, I'm going to take personal what you said to me, and I'm going to use that as an excuse, because you know what, honestly, you had every right, really, to just say, look, man, I don't have to take this, and nah, I'm going to move on. And the thing is that, we've known each other long enough now, we've hung out, and we've been around each other enough to know that, we know that I can have my moments. I can have my moments. And I get passionate, and I can just about blow my top big time, and the thing is, I appreciate you, and I thank you for taking that and going, okay, let me take a look at myself here, and let me ask myself the question as to whether or not this is worth it to me, regardless of whether or not I feel like I'm being, talked to, in the wrong way or not, and you got yourself there, and you went through it, and you saw and experienced what we experienced. Your life has changed. You're changed for, permanently, and there's no turning back from this. So
not at all.
Awesome.
Not at all, man. It's like, I played football in high school, and at halftime, your coach sits you down, and your coach has a talk with you, regardless whether you're winning or whether you're losing. And what the coach says to you at halftime, it's something called a gut check, guys. And Chris, that's really what that email was to me. It was a gut check to me to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this to the next level, or I'm not, or I'm just going to make an excuse, and I'm not going to do the things that successful people do. I'm just that's a gut check for me, man. So I'm like, you know what? I'm so thankful you sent that email, because I probably would not be at the event if you didn't. So.
All right.
Yeah, man, that was cool.
Awesome.
Well, then, in that case, the universe works in mysterious ways sometimes.
Yeah, very true, very true.
No, but I think when I got a chance to be in that room and share my story, some of you kind of saw where I was coming from, in the sense where we all have our personal issues, and in my past I've been a hothead at times, and my passion, I let my passion get away with me, and oftentimes with Empower, just today I was having a conversation. Someone called me up and said, hey, I'm making this money in this deal, I want to consult with you, and do some SEO coaching and some other coaching, and I said, so are you still in Empower? And he says, well, I mean, I am, but I'm kind of, pushing this whole traditional MLM company now, and I'm kind of like, what? Like, huh? And so I it's like we don't convince people, but I found myself just like, dude, like, because you come out of an event and you have so much conviction, and so I'm like, dude, you had to have been there. Like, I wish there was a way for me to explain it to you, but you just have to be there next time to understand what you're missing here. You know, like, you might have not had a lot of success here, but you're not having a lot of success here in anything. So who's always at the scene of the crime every time you're talking about something not working here? You know? So,
Exactly.
you know, and Empower creates that structure for you to be able to grow. And especially in this team, it's very evident after that Saturday night meeting. We're doing psyche balances with people. We're talking with them intimately and privately about what they need to go through to break through. And it was powerful, really, really powerful. So even more so in this team, in both teams here, you know, it's the way it is. So just got to stick with it. Just got to stick with it.
Yep.
Yeah, Jordan, I actually, I believe that was the invite. But I'll send that one. Well, I just saw his name there. I'll send it again and see if that's him this time.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you, Tashina.
I was just, do you mind if I go on a different direction a little bit? I just wanted to share something that's happened for me since.
Well, just real quick here, let me finish up here with Ray real quick. So Ray, thank you for coming out, bud.
Hey, thanks guys. I really appreciate you guys.
And we'll be talking with you soon, man.
Sounds good, bud.
All right, we'll see you.
Cool. See ya.
Later. Okay, go ahead, Tashina.
I was just going to say one of the things that that's happened for me since getting back is I have another business, and before I went to the event, there was a lot of new clients coming in and asking for my attention. And after coming back from the event, it's just touching on what Ray was saying about laser beam focus. Was responding back to them, to these clients that have been asking me, to do work with them, and I've been able to say no. And often for women especially, it's hard for us to say no to people because we want to please and we try to help everybody that we can. But for me, I've just been able to find a line where I'm able to respectfully say no and thank you, and this is really what I'm doing. And know that it's okay to not, spread myself so thin that I get exhausted and I can't really focus on what's important. And for me, it's been a big shift in just my mentality and approaching things since I've been back, and it's just been a day and a half. So, yeah, that's been
very,
cool.
very cool. Very, very cool.
I just want to say something based on a comment I'm seeing over here. Shan is saying, hi, Thea, my accountability partner. So I just want to talk about this for a second because we have an accountability partnership thing going on in our team. And I've gotten messages from people. I actually got a message from someone that wasn't at the event asking me to partner them up with somebody. And so this is what I always tell people when they ask me for an accountability partner. I tell them, get to the events, because this is where you're going to find the people. You're going to be able to figure out who it is that you mesh with, who it is that would be a good partner for you. And here's the other thing. Thea wanted to be my roommate at the event. And I said, I'm not having roommates this time. So she went and found another roommate, and now they're accountability partners. Because they, they got to know each other and they spent the weekend together. And I just think that is so powerful because, here's the thing, like I'm not going to partner people up because I don't know who's right for who. Only you know who's right for you. And the best way, if you're not at the event, you can post something in the Facebook group to find yourself an accountability partner. But you know what? You could go to an event. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. You could go to an event and end up with an accountability partner that's not even on the same team as you. It doesn't matter. Chris and I were accountability partners when we first met, and it just doesn't matter. Like it's more about meeting like-minded people. And when you're in a room with 4,000 like-minded people, it's pretty easy to find somebody that wants to run at the pace you want to run, you can work with, that you can talk to every day. So I just saw that in the comments, and I just wanted to point that out before I forgot about it, because I just think it's so powerful. And if you're somebody that has sent me a message asking me to partner you up with somebody, I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again, like I'm not going to. You need to find an accountability partner, and the best way to do that is come to these events.
Yep. Don't be a wussy, right?
Exactly.
I mean, Amy, seriously, like, hats off. Like, you were a trooper this whole time. We know you were dealing with being sick and, doctor's orders, doctors telling you not even to go, that you should be in bed. And you came, And not only did you come, but you stuck it out and you stayed with us the whole way. When we had our team meetings, you showed up, you were there, and
And you
were,
opened up your room to us, which was amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for that.
That's just, all those things you just went above and beyond, and that's just a real leader right there, and you did that, So thank you, and I'm sure all of us thank you, but it's important to note that even when things got tough, you still showed up and you still made it happen, and that's to your credit. So thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, Jordan's probably wishing I wasn't there now.
Yeah. Well,
it is.
she has things go viral so quickly.
Yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
That Jordan was the receiver of that.
That's what I get when she coughs right in my mouth.
Yeah. Whatever.
I know.
Did she really do that?
No. That's just, dude. Have you ever seen Louis C.K.?
Yes. Yes.
See, my daughter thinks you tell secrets into their mouths. Yeah. It's a little inside joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
I tried getting Dan out here, and we're still trying to get Dan out here. I sent the invite to his Google Plus to his email account, and so hopefully, Dan, if you're there, if you can log into your Gmail and go to Google Plus, you'll see your notifications there in the top right of your screen. And you should be able to pop on here. We'd really like to have you come out, Dan. Let me just say something about Dan, because I know he's going to be able to get on here once he gets that figured out. I just resent the invite here a minute ago. But Dan showed up, and Dan didn't have really a support there. His main sponsor was not at the event, and right before the event, I got a pass up from the Masters Retreat, and it was Dan. And I'm thinking, wow, I saw he had passed up to me on an inner circle before, and so I had seen his name from there, but I had never talked with him before. And just days before the event, I get a pass up, and it's Dan Walsh, and I had never talked to him, so I'm like, okay, well, I better call and connect with this guy. This is awesome. He just gave me $3,000, so I better call. And it was so cool to get a chance to meet up. And that's just one of the things about, hey guys, if we didn't get you started right, if you didn't get everything you needed the first day, if things didn't go right your first time around trying to embed a video into your blog, or you tried to put some traffic together, or put something on Facebook and you got frustrated because of technical issues and such, and some people, they got upset and they just gave up and they said, I don't know what to do, and they just threw their hands up. Well, some people just continue to keep going and figure it out, regardless of if there's anybody holding them up, anybody being there for them, holding their hand, talking with them, talking them through things, trying to give them tech support, which we highly recommend none of you do to your people. You're really crippling them if you do that. There's tech support for that you can get a hold of. And Dan just decided to get all in, and that was before the event. He shows up at the event. We get a chance to hang out, we get to go to lunch, we get to talk, and really get to know each other. And, Dan is just one of the coolest people, and he's got a real heart for people. And to have him as an addition to the team, being in that room with everybody, his presence was known and felt by everybody, and he really had a true heart for people. And it was very easy to see that, and it was it was just so cool to be around him. I'm really hoping there he is. We got him.
Woohoo!
All right.
All right.
Yay!
Dan, man, what a weekend, huh? Okay, 1 minute. He's still getting it worked out here, so I got to continue singing his praises. See, that's what he's doing. He's actually delaying talking so I can just sing more praises. Okay, here we go.
I was like, no, this is a good introduction. I'm going to let him roll with that for a while. No, that's actually way too kind, man. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say those things.
Well, you deserve it.
Can you hear me okay, first of all?
We can, yeah. We can all hear you real good. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just gonna say things that will echo what so many other people have said. It was just an incredibly powerful event. I'm also one of those people that I got in right when Empower opened a little over a year ago, and did a little bit with it then, and then just basically shifted my focus to other things, thinking that that wasn't going to be where I was going to really build, my business around. And then a couple months ago, I just woke up to this, revolution that's taking place with this thing, and just really got more interested in it. But I don't think it was, I've been marketing a little bit, and I've got a few more people on my team since then. But like I think so many other people said, it wasn't until I got to this event and just experienced, how authentic and genuine everybody is. The entire top leadership of Empower Network, the Dave and Dave, of course, and as I shared with you guys, one of the things that just really sealed it for me was our own team meeting. And I think I heard Ray say that, or and some others too. It was just to walk in that room with everyone. I think there was only 15 or 20 of us at that time, and just everybody had just to hear real people who have been through real struggles and personal struggles, but they have real dreams for personal and financial freedom. They got a real vision, and that they've really invested themselves into Empower Network as the vehicle to realize that. That just and everyone sharing that kind of vision together, and the heart in this team was just, it blew me away too. So I knew right then and there, I was like, oh, this is it. This team kicks ass. And also, I think I shared with you guys too that, having that experience. I mean, I've had whatever level you're at when you go to a live event, it's going to take it. It's just going to take it deeper. It's going to take your belief, your conviction, your vision about what's possible. It's going to make all of that just so much more powerful. And you heard Dave and Dave say it, that when you get to that place of absolute conviction about where you're going, that nothing's going to stop you from getting there, then then huge things happen, big amazing things happen. So
well, that's the way it works, doesn't it?
Definitely. You guys what was that quote you said earlier? You reminded me of something that famous quote by Dorothy Brand. She said, "Act boldly, and unseen forces will come to your aid."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you probably know who she is, right, Tashina? Because she was a dancer, wasn't she? Have you ever
Sounds familiar, the name, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and I just, and I also had the experience being in the room with everyone and having that personal connection with everyone that, there are countless other people out there right now, just like all of us, who have the same situation, have been through the same struggles, they got the same hopes and dreams for their own future, and that this vehicle is a real opportunity for all of them to make it happen. And so it kind of transformed it to, from like this thing that's really great and exciting and we can make a lot of money, into getting excited about actually being someone who can go out there and help those people get connected to this thing. Help them get plugged into this, and and have everyone kind of build their dreams together. So
yeah, we got all the hands. We got all the highs from everybody. If you're reading the comment stream here, everybody's saying hi to Dan. We all love Dan, don't we? Dan, you're awesome, man. You really are, man. It was so cool to be there with you and hang out with you, and it's just the beginning.
It is. And if anyone's watching this right now, by the way, who's who's been watching these Hangouts, or you're on the fence a little bit about it or whatever, I mean, let me just tell you, your search is over. This is the team right here. This is where it's going to happen. And you couldn't be with a better group of people who are more dedicated to your success. All these guys feel exactly the way I was just talking. They all feel the same. So just click that button below and get started, because we want to meet you in Chicago. That's plain and simple. And in fact, especially if you're on my team, if you're one of the folks on my team who didn't make it to Austin, and you're watching this right now, I want to meet you guys in Chicago. So you guys make the commitment, buy your tickets as soon as they're available. I want to see you guys there.
Absolutely. And you're going to have a team there yourself.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's it. Well, anything else, Dan? I mean, it was just awesome to be there with you, man, and just want you to know. I mean, we got a chance to hang out the last night there on Sunday night, and we all, the four of us went to dinner. Me, Jordan, Amy, and Dan, and got a chance to talk quite a bit about everything. And so it was an awesome time. And Dan, we appreciate you and look forward to having you be a part of this thing and really doing this thing.
Yeah, guys, absolutely. It was a total joy to meet all of you and connect with all of you guys, and I look forward to doing it again in a few months in person.
It's a joy to have you there.
So.
All right, Dan.
Let's rock this.
We'll rock this thing, man. We'll see you soon, and stay plugged in, and we'll be talking.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
See you guys.
Take care. All right, guys. So. Anybody else that we need to bring out here? Jordan, you got anybody that you want to bring out before we bring this thing to a close here soon with some final thoughts?
I don't know if I know I had about 5 people that were going to show up from my personal team. Amy showed up, so she's on the Hangout already, and I know some of the other people had some stuff happen. They ended up in the hospital and things like that, so they couldn't make it. But Ray Wateska was there, and Ray, I don't know if you're on the Hangout right now. If you want to type in your email address in the comments section, we could definitely pull you out, have you chat. We didn't even get to chat much at the event, but would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you're on, just type it in the comment box, and Chris will invite you on. With that, man, I don't know if we shared before. I think you guys might have talked about your vision for the next 90 days before, things of that nature, and what you see for the team and all that good stuff. And I kind of want to just kind of share that a little bit, and then I'm gonna jump out, man. I'm actually ready to go pass out again. I think I've been awake for an hour and a half now, so that's kinda...
Hey man, you're a trooper. We know you've been having a tough time, and we didn't even expect you on tonight. So for you to jump on for this whole thing, was awesome, and I appreciate you, man.
It would be hard to miss. It's hard to miss you guys on Tuesday nights. It really is. It really is
becoming a thing here.
Well, one thing Dan said too, which I don't think he said there, but he said it on in the team meeting, was it's really something special when the people come to the live events, because when you get to the live event, you go from being a email address and a username in someone's account to being a part of the family. And not that you're not connected before then, and you can see each other on Hangouts, you can see videos of people, you can still get the interaction between the Facebook chat and what have you. Someone else we were talking to, and I don't even remember who this was, but it's kind of like Facebook in real life.
Yeah, I was on the team call last night.
Chris Trackard was talking about
Chris.
it.
Okay. No, I think you said that to me, Amy, though, at the event. Someone said it to me at the event.
Yeah. I said it's like a sea of Facebook profile pictures walking around.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And, so that's when things really become real. That's when everything really happens, is getting to live events. And so, I don't know, my personal vision for the next 90 days and really throughout the next year, Amy said she wanted to help 10 people get to 6 figures a year, $100,000 a year, which is roughly about $8,500 a month or so. And my vision is similar, but I'm just going to say that I want to help 10 people get freedom and quit their jobs, because there's something I heard David Wood talk about years ago, and he said that it's not about the amount of money that you have, it's about the freedom that you have in your life. And that's really what the new millionaire status is all about. You don't have to be a millionaire to live the millionaire lifestyle. You don't have to be filthy rich to be free. You can get, for me, I was making $9,000 a year. So, did it take $100,000 a year for me to quit my job and get free? No, it didn't. I think I made, the year that I quit my job, I think I only made $25,000 in my business. But you
thought you were rich.
Well, no, yeah. But the point is, I want to help 10 people get free, and whatever that takes for you, I want to help you do that. As far as the next 90 days, I see my income tripling. I see my income. Well, actually, I see my income. Within 90 days, going. Well, what is that? 6 times? I can't calculate the numbers in my head right now. My brain is not functioning. But at the rate my income's going, it's doubling every month. So whatever that calculates out to, 90 days down. But the more important vision that I see, and we've been chatting about this at the event, and my numbers were kind of small. They were kind of wussy when I first was talking about them. And Chris is like, dude, what's with these little numbers, dude? What's with these little numbers? And I was like, well, I don't know. They seem big enough to me. How many people do we want to have in the team at the next event? That was really the focus there. And so, I was always saying 200, 200, 200. But then I realized that we had 20 fucking people in our team at the event already. And I mean, that's just each one of us getting 10 team members there, right? Is that 10 team members? Right. Well, there's going to be some crazy people that get, 20, 30, 40 people there. And, and there's just going to be a lot more of the team members that get there. I see us having 300 to 500 people in our team at the event next time around. And I see at least 20 to 50 of us with the red lanyards on.
Absolutely. That's easy. That's easy to do.
That's easy. It is easy. Absolutely. Yep. And it is. It's something that should happen, and it'll be an eventuality, and we lead by example. So we're going to continue to develop things in the teams and co-ops and new funnels and use the new stuff that we've got coming out. And aren't those videos that the corporate team, aren't those cool?
They're great. Yeah.
Aren't those awesome? I mean,
Yeah.
we can make them coded and use those things. Those are some awesome videos. I finally feel like I can send some of these to some professionals that would normally be like, Chris, what kind of schemey thing are you sending me now? So, yeah. And now we got videos. So for those of you that thought, I just can't seem to send this to some of those people because David Wood is cussing in the video. Now we have these videos that you can, and you can use them. Your usernames can be, all you gotta have to do is put $ID equals in your username at the end of them, and you can use them. And so you can go to the main Empower Network domain, and for those of you who were on the call last night, you already know this, but you can go to the main Empower Network domain and you can see the different videos. You can click up in the top right hand side and click on opportunity, and there's a page that has 2 videos there, and they're just so cool. And all you got to do is right after the .com put a / and a $ID equals in your username, and you can use that. And they're those videos on the front end, and then they have a sales letter on the back actually selling the product, telling you about the product, what the product entails. And it's really consumer oriented. It was Empower attempting to get into a customer base, not just marketers, but also being able to market this to business owners. So if you are the person who has a circle of influence of people that could just even use a blog or net marketing training, who run local businesses, this is a direction you can go and still monetize. What are you laughing at?
So I just went to the products page.
Mm-hmm.
Just went to the products page on the Empower Network thing, and it's funny, Chris. You're just talking about sending to professionals, and there's no swearing here, but I just think this quote it's so good, dude. It says how to get buckets of hands-free traffic and explode your sales in any program faster than a jackrabbit on Viagra.
now, see, here's the thing. It's edgy. It's edgy, but it's not cussing. It's not swearing.
Yeah.
Even professionals that would normally take offense to that, they're kind of like, that's actually intriguing and funny enough that they're like, it almost makes them bypass.
That catches their attention.
Yeah,
I think that's
like,
awesome.
On Viagra, what? Yeah. Yeah. So and
it's a lot of traffic.
Yeah. So we can use these now, and this is one of the things that we're going to put into the autoresponder as well, so that people have these exposures, so that they see all this good content in the follow-ups and everything for people. One of the other things here, shifting gears just a little bit, is one of the reasons why some of you might have gone to the Hangout page earlier today, and I heard Jamie.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
That was just funny. It's just nice and quiet. Anyways,
I just put the wrong link in the chat box, so I'm gonna go get it out of there. Sorry.
Okay. So one of the things is so that was precious. Oh, that was good. Okay, so if you went to the Hangouts page earlier today and you saw that it said this channel has been, terminated from service, there is something going around right now. You see, guys, when we get really big and we turn heads like we have done, the power of this movement is far beyond what most people can understand. And what it does is it incites a lot of fear in people that are not of the consciousness and the understanding to accept it. And what I mean by that is essentially it's a scarcity and a lack mentality. And so they see how well Empower is doing, and they see these people all over the place getting into this because, of course, it's a no-brainer when they're exposed to it. And so you see people making a lot of YouTube videos. You see a lot of people posting all over Facebook and Twitter and all these places. And so as a result, because of our viral nature of what we've done, we, as you all know, we've already had our domain first taken off of Facebook, and so we have a workaround for that, social media bar for you to mask your domain right now. But what's actually happening right now is there's people going around flagging YouTube accounts. And it's not to any fault of yours other than the fact that these people are in other companies and they feel threatened. And so if your account has anything that says Empower Network, or as a precaution, even if it's linking out to an Empower Network page or domain, what we would highly recommend is that you go and change that wording and take the Empower Network out of your titles and the links out, or mask the links using social media bar. Go into your Empower Network domains and pages, because someone's searching for them, flagging them, and then YouTube is going in and shutting them down. And there is a long process you can go through to get your channel back, but it's a long process, and you don't want to deal with that. And it's not a guarantee that you will. You might not. We don't know how this whole thing's going to shake out right now. But as of today, Jordan had one of his accounts taken down. Amy had one of her accounts taken down over the weekend.
Mine was flagged.
Yeah, Tashina's got her flagged as well. And so it's happening, guys. Mine hasn't gotten yet, but I went in and I got the hint a while ago, and I started taking Empower Network out of everything in my titles, and I basically, replaced everything with the team. Team Be the Change, Team Be the Change, and then using social media bar to mask my stuff. And so I don't have any yet, but what we did do is we created a new YouTube channel that is going to have nothing but the Hangouts on. And so that's the one we've got up here now. And so we're on that, but we just wanted to let you know about that, give you a heads up on that. And we'll probably have a quick heads up video tutorial as well going on in our team, and I'm sure, Amy, you've addressed that in your team side as well, probably the best thing. But just wanted to throw that out there real quick for everybody. So yeah.
And another option for anyone that does have their YouTube channel, shut down at the moment, you can use Vimeo, vimeo.com, and upload videos there too. So if you're feeling stuck, that is another option that I've turned to actually for myself.
Vimeo does work. It does work. And I just got a message. Ray Allen got his account blocked too. So, yeah, being careful, guys. If it hasn't been yet, go in there and take care of business, handle business, and change that out. So yeah, here it is. We've been here about an hour and a half, and I know we wanted to make these things a little shorter and everything. So any other major components here that we need to talk about? Just because I'm, it's getting late and everything.
I think we should just create our own Empower Network video channel and make it go viral, but not have the Empower Network brand on it necessarily, because then other people wouldn't necessarily want to use it. But make our own channel and get it so big that we actually replace YouTube.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I think that's what we should do, since they're a bunch of wussies. You gotta shut down people's channels because we're talking about being successful and making money and shit.
There's gonna be a day.
Bullshit.
It's gonna go one of two ways. I'm telling you guys, there's gonna be a day. There's gonna be a day. Okay, there's gonna be a day when we're either accepted back onto Facebook, and any other places we've been banned. We haven't been necessarily banned from YouTube yet. We don't know what's going on there because it's just, spammers and flaggers at the moment. But there's going to be a day where our community either surpasses Facebook, surpasses YouTube and videos, or they're going to welcome us back on and apologize. And I think it's probably going to be the first one, not the latter. But that day of reckoning will come. You know why? Because there's a purpose behind this that can't be stopped. It can't be stopped by the sheer will and determination and greed or scarcity or fear of any major power structure. And that's what a lot of these online networks are. Facebook is a very strong power structure now. YouTube, GoogleTube. I just like to call them GoogleTube because they own both. And they're power structures, and they've got a lot of pull in a lot of areas. And we're going to get there. We're only a year old, and we've exploded, and we're only even starting. This is just the first jump.
Well, this is what happens.
They're crazy for not.
Sorry, go ahead, Amy.
Well, they're just crazy. These are a bunch of marketers that have money to spend on marketing. And I think Facebook and Google are totally insane not to let us all spend our money on advertising. I mean, that's how I found out my channel was shut down over the weekend. I got an email saying that my YouTube video marketing has been stopped because the video isn't available anymore or something. And I'm like, you don't want my money anymore? It's stupid,
I mean, this is what happens when a revolution takes place and a huge change, goes into effect, is people resisted at first because of the scarcity and lack mindset. And so for myself, I know when I hear Facebook is blocking us and, YouTube is flagging us, I'm not keeping the mindset of, those jerks or, anything like that. I'm really holding the intention that it moves through and that people then can switch into there's an abundance mindset of there's more than enough for everybody. So
I fully agree, but I'm still calling them jerks.
I also feel, just like I said to you, Chris and Jordan earlier today, like I do also feel like when you're up to big things, you get big obstacles, and it's sometimes things come up that are so big just so that you can prove to the universe that you're really committed to this. Because some people might be thrown in the towel right now because of this, and I'm certainly not going to. Nothing is going to stop me. Nope. Nothing, So sometimes, and I've had experiences like this before too, where it's like, all right, here's a, getting a monkey wrench thrown into the equation. And I mean, videos is my main thing. So like I could crawl into a hole right now and give up, but I'm not going to, I just feel like we can't be stopped.
Well, here's a quick workaround. I think what we can do is just generate a ton of leads with our co-op, and then create our videos, put them up on our Amazon hosting, and fuck Google. And then we can just blast our email videos out to our lists and get it to the people that matter. And
yeah, that's the thing, because we can't rank them anymore anyway, because we can't use the keywords that we were using. So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing.
If you want to go the route of using Vidler, Vidler actually will rank on Google, and I've gotten it to rank #1 before. I haven't tried it in a while because I haven't had any trouble with YouTube so far, so I haven't really tried lately. But it's a high authority video hosting site, and as we all know, if you have a video from any video hosting site ranking in Google, people see a video and they still click on it. So YouTube or Google has over the course of the last year really shaved down to just YouTube videos. Because they're getting greedy, and they want everyone to be on YouTube. But those other ones still rank. A lot of people don't try anymore. The thing about Vidler is that if you go to these other major hosting platforms, Vimeo's free to a certain extent, but Vidler's normally starting out at about $50 a month. So you got to be a marketer and you got to have that in your budget. But it is worth it. I use Vidler a lot, and there's all kinds of cool stuff. They really like marketers, and there's marketer-friendly hosting platforms out there like Amazon, EasyS3, Easy Video Player, Vidler. So they're out there.
EmpowerTube.
Ranking. EmpowerTube, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, awesome. So the video thing, it'll come and go, and we'll still make it happen. what our message is too powerful to not be on video and get out there to people. It's an eventuality. It's already part of the intention, and so it's one of those things about being fully willing and committed, and we'll make it. And it's going to happen somehow from some video hosting platform. It doesn't matter. We're coming through in video with this message, and it's going to happen. So it's not too much to worry about what platform it is, because we've made the decision. We're on our way. We're going to find a way, and it's going to get out there, and it's going to get in front of the people that it needs to get in front of, period.
That's right.
So, yeah, there you go. Told you I have a hard time shutting up.
No, I'm just looking at all the comments here on how many people's like, yeah, my stuff got flagged. Yeah, my account got blocked.
Yeah, I was told today that YouTube went in and just like cleared people out over the weekend. Tons of people, tons and tons of people. And my account had been suspended, and I got it back, but now my account is totally terminated. No warning, nothing. It's just gone.
Man.
But I'm not the only one, so I don't know if that makes me feel any better or not, but...
Out of the ashes we rise. We've done it once before. You know, we've survived merchant. We've missed, 2 merchant account shutdowns, Facebook. I mean, if we ain't doing something, see now some people who had no idea. This is the difference, guys. This is the real difference. When you're really aligned with your purpose, there's 2 ways to react to this. One is to say, merchants, Facebook, YouTube, maybe we should get a clue. Maybe they just ain't supposed to be. Things are popping up all over the place, and people think symbolically, and they see it as a symbol and as a sign, and go, oh, maybe it's just not meant to happen. And in society, we're conditioned like that. We literally watch movies that give us that thinking, that ingrain us with that cultural conditioning to think that when things happen like that, that it's just not meant to be. And, I just don't really buy that, because the majority of people I've ever met, and from what I've talked to with other very happy, successful people, is that the majority of people are not happy. And 85% of people hate their job. And that's not some number I'm throwing out there, how, statistics, 70% of them are made up on the spot. That's an actual surveyed number. And estimates are that 85% of people not only just don't like or don't care, they hate their job. They hate it. So if that's the case, they're doing it because they have to, not because they want to. And I would rather have an intention and face adversity every once in a while with something, moving in the direction of something I'm fully committed to, that I know is the right direction, rather than dealing with adversity every day of something that puts a bad taste in my mouth, and every day I have to get up and go to and be subjected to feeling like I'm not free, feeling like I don't have a choice. Because when people have things happen to them, they feel like, well, this is a sign, I don't really have a choice here, these things keep happening, and I just need to go away. I don't really believe that's the case. I believe that's the universe saying, are you sure? Because if you're going to really disrupt the status quo this much, to really truly be free, to be happy, to set people free, then you're going to have to know how to handle this adversity. That's why I'm thankful for all the crazy things I put myself through in my life, consciously or unconsciously, because it helped me learn and understand what I'm made of. So when I face adversity, I can deal with it and get through it. And that's exactly what we've done at a Power Network. We've gotten through all of it, and we will continue. Don't think for 1 second this will slow us down. You will still see more growth coming out of this thing than ever before. That's how powerful that was.
Yeah, we're only...
YouTube thing is a snafu. Just a little hook. That's nothing.
Yeah, we're only growing through them, not going through them, growing through them. Just
well,
makes
here's
it stronger.
When I've experienced like the hugest obstacles in my life, and I've made the choice, just like you just said, Chris, about like, should I take this as a sign that I'm not supposed to do this, or should I take this as a challenge that what's on the other side of this is bigger than what I can even fathom? And every time I've chosen the latter, I've had like miracles and like the most amazing things have happened in my life, and I know that this is no different. Like, you know, I didn't even cry when I found out my YouTube channel was was shut down, which is funny to me because I love my YouTube channel. But I'm like, oh wow, something big is about to happen. That's the first thing I thought. Like, okay, so, and the first thing I thought of was just what Jordan said too. I'm like, well, we have traffic. We have traffic sources. We got, you know, co-op. That's awesome. So we can get enough leads. We don't need YouTube. YouTube is great for ranking in the search engines, but we don't need it for that. If we can do, you know, we can work around stuff. So we already have stuff that we can do.
Well, you know, it comes back to what we were talking about earlier too, with the, you know, when one is fully willing and totally committed, the gods join in and providence moves in their direction. Just like you said, Amy, miracles happen. It's something that doesn't make any linear sense when you're put with obstacles and roadblocks in your way, but it's something about what we talked about all weekend long. It's a decision. And when that decision is made and it's fully felt at the deepest level in your core, and you know the difference between saying you've made a decision and making a decision, and at any cost and at anything, you've made a decision and you're making it happen. Whatever comes up is going to be handled. You're going to make the decision to do it. And when that really happens, things just tend to fall and collapse into place in the right way. You have obstacles, but it's these miracles that happen along the way that help remove those obstacles and seem like and it takes away from what makes it seem like an obstacle when it's not even an issue. That's one of the things with Dave that's so funny over the years. You know, what he's taught me, being his best friend and listening and having late night talks from, you know, till 1 or 2 in the morning. We used to do this all the time when we started marketing. Like every night we'd be on Skype and just, you know, talking till 1, 2 in the morning about the vision and about where we were going and what was going on. And, you know, I was constantly being challenged because I had more of a limiting belief system than Dave at the time. And there would be so many things that I would say to him, but wait, what about this? But wait, what about this? And the common theme that would always happen is he would say to me, don't worry about it. It's not an issue. You just don't have to worry about it. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, what do you mean it doesn't matter? What do you mean it doesn't matter? This happens. This goes on. How do you do this? You got to address this. You got to do this. All this details, these details, these details. What if it's not right? And he's like, it doesn't matter. You'll see. And I'd always have to just be like,
You'll see.
He's like, you'll see. And I'm like, you know.
Well, it's exactly what Rob Forrest said on stage this weekend. You know, the answer to how is yes. If you have this question of how does this going to work, you just say yes. And
well,
you just stay open and curious.
Well, you're being modest because you know where he got that from.
My point is just say yes when you have a how, and it'll all come together.
Yes. Yeah, we were having a conversation with Rob at the VIP party, and he was talking about that, and you know, he's like, how can I? And Tashina just interjects and says the answer is yes, and he's like, well, what? She says the answer to how is yes, and he's like, oh, I'm writing this down, and he says it on stage the next day, which was really cool.
My network marketing company that I've been in for 10 years. Was a great coach. His answer to everything is it's all good. Yeah. And I kind of took that on because it's true. Like if you think about it that way, it's all good. It's all in the highest and best good for everybody involved, right? You can believe that or you can suffer basically. So
which sucks.
And you know, and the other thing is like what you were just saying, Chris, like as far as when you have an unshakable belief in something and you're taking a stand that cannot be, like nobody can push me off of my stand on the mission that I'm on right now. So no matter what comes up, like there's no question in my mind whether I'm going to keep going or whether I'm going to figure out a solution. But for somebody whose belief isn't there, who hasn't been to an event and they're kind of like still not sure if this is real, they haven't crossed that line yet. When an obstacle like this comes up, they're done. You know, it's just, you can just push them and they'll just fall right off of their path. And, and I know sometimes you need to be tested. I believe that sometimes I need to be tested in order to just make sure that I'm still all in. And I mean, there's just no question in my mind. So fuck YouTube.
All right. I love it. Oh man, I love
Yeah.
it.
So one of the other cool things that we found out about at this event, and some of you might have heard about this on the call yesterday. To be honest, I was driving through the mountains. I kept on getting disconnected, and I gave up. So I actually didn't hear most of the call. But Sunday morning, they brought out the couch, and all of a sudden,
Oh,
all of the women of Empower Network walked out and sat down on that couch, and it was, you had all of the top producers.
Not all of
wives.
them.
Not all of them.
There were still like 3,000 other women in the audience.
Yes.
yeah.
The current leading ladies of Empower Network. Does that work a little better, or do I need to keep going? Keep reaching for that? How about that? So because I keep looking at Amy, I'm like, you should be up there. You should be up there. And but what they did is they took the top producing ladies and the wives of some of the top producers and interviewed them as to how they fit into their team and how they did what they did, how they did all of the things that they do, which is oftentimes more of a crazy mess that a man could never handle, because we just don't function that way. We're too simple, and really picked their brains and got into what it's like to be on that side of it, and just getting the insight even from Tracy Walker and Nicole Cooper, from the business builder side, and then getting the the side from Jessica Rush and Dee Varengia and a few of the others that just are a part of the team, and they do certain aspects of the marketing and certain aspects of the team and how that dynamic works and what to understand, and so they did this. And for us, I mean, it was funny. I was talking with somebody Thursday night about the event, and they were just like, they were saying to me, I have never seen a company that has so much masculine energy that's just like all the time, and it's don't be a wussy, release your inner badass, and everything's so masculine all the time, and so you see this on Sunday, and it's like, it's such a refreshing thing to watch. You see this very strong feminine energy come out and really give a lot of wisdom, and that was cool to see. I mean, and you could sense it. I mean, every woman in there was on the, I mean, and males too. I mean, I was kind of like, wow, this is different and cool. We need more of this. And the good news is they actually put a product together. And I actually thought it was going to be released at this event, but then it turns out they're going to release it later, whether they're not ready or whatever it is. But they went in and filmed these ladies on location, and they're putting a product together that helps you understand how to market to women, how to be a woman, and how to market to the general population, how to market to other women, being a woman in those circumstances, and how to be okay with yourself as a woman, and really embracing your feminine side in marketing, because I mean, let's get over ourselves. 70% of the industry is women, so and that's coming. So for all of you that feel like at times you kind of get sick and tired of being called a wussy all the time, and you're like, really, we've got something coming, and this is really going to balance out the energy in this thing, and we're going to be bringing in, I mean, we've exploded how we have now, but we haven't even really tapped into, and as a matter of fact, turned off a lot of women in the industry because of the such masculine presence and the way we present ourselves. So I'm excited. Any thoughts, ladies? I mean, please just take the floor away from me, because I'll keep talking. So
I think
Amy,
we need to end this thing.
Yeah, I think
It's getting late.
Okay.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
All right. Jordan, thanks for staying on, man. I know you're not feeling good. Amy, the same. And it's been, an hour and 50 minutes now or so. So let's wrap it up. Any closing thoughts?
No, just thanks everyone for coming.
All right. All right, everybody. Next time, same bat time, same bat channel. We'll see you here next week.
Awesome.
All right,
Good
everybody.
night.
Night.
Bye, guys.